A Gatlinburg detective and the Hamilton County District Attorney butt heads in court today. Good evening, I'm Calvin Sneed.
I'm Kim Chapman. Detective Rodney Burns is fighting charges of aggravated perjury. DA Neil Pinkston and the TBI say Burns' testimony and his case file in connection to the Ooltewah rape case don't match up. The two faced off in court today as Burns wants Pinkston removed from the case. Burns claims defamation. His attorneys argue that today that the $300,000 defamation suit creates a conflict of interest for Pinkston.
There's no way that Mr. Pinkston, who is now the subject of a civil suit for money damages at the Claims Commission, can now come into this court and claim that he is not somehow tainted.
I guess under this theory, if you say something today that Mr. Burns or Mr. Gillies doesn't like, perhaps they can sue you and then move to recuse you from this case because they don't like what you said about it.
Judge Tom Greenholz says he needs more time to decide whether to remove Pinkston from this case.
Throughout these court cases revolving around the Ooltewah incident, judges have dealt with issues in court they've never had to rule on before.
Stephanie Santastasi joins us now and shows us the unprecedented circumstances in today's case. Stephanie.
Kim, Calvin, uncharted waters, a term thrown around in court today. It means attorneys in this case believe they're in a situation that's unfamiliar to them, and they don't know what might or could happen next. As Gatlinburg detective Rodney Burns sits in court this morning, his attorneys argue with the judge about a case they say is unlike any other they've ever dealt with before.
You're right. Our position is we're in uncharted waters here. There's no precedent one way or the other.
It's a term we've heard before as we followed these Ooltewah cases in court. First, as the three adults face charges of failure to report child abuse. In today's case, attorneys say it's rare for an indictment to happen after a civil lawsuit has been filed naming the prosecutor.
Quite frankly, Your Honor, I found very few cases that have been factually on point with this case.
Judge Greenholz agreed. Burns' attorneys requested that Pinkston be taken off this case. Pinkston's response?
There would be an extreme hardship, not only here locally, but could be precedent setting for other jurisdictions.
So what happens in a situation where the judge and attorneys don't know what to do? We spoke with UTK law professor Penny White. She says the judge always has the final decision.
It's not at all unusual for the judge to ask the attorneys to brief the case and to write in writing what they think the judge should do and to put in that brief the legal authority for that position.
White says new issues come up before courts all the time because every lawsuit and case is different.
It's also not unusual that a district attorney's office sometimes is disqualified and a district attorney's office from another district comes in to prosecute a matter.
In regards to the judge bringing in a special prosecutor in this case, White says as long as the person doesn't have a conflict of interest, she doesn't see that as an issue here. She says it's happened plenty of times throughout Tennessee's history. Calvin.
Thanks, Stephanie.